Do you hear a train coming around the bend? It's not a big steam engine, but it is the number 11 locomotive. That train is back up and running this summer in Port Alberni to take people around the waterfront. And to find out more, we're joined this morning by Richard Spenser, Operations Manager for the Alberni Pacific Railway. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, Gregor. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. Yourself?
Very, very good. Very excited for a great summer coming up.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you guys are running. And for those who haven't taken the Waterfront Express, where does it go? Can you describe it for us?
So the Waterfront Express starts downtown Port Alberni at the historic E&M train station, which is being converted right now into a tap house by Twin City Brewing. So some ideas to possibly contribute to the future there and how we can work together on that one. But it leaves the train station and it heads south down to the Port Authority. First Ave sort of thing, just down along the waterfront. You get some beautiful views of the Alberni Inlet. And then we come back past the train station, up through the rail yard, past some more waterfronts, an area that the city of Port Alberni is developing. And that heads up to the paper mill and then back to the train station. So it's a short run. It's 25 minutes long, but you get some beautiful waterfront views all while riding the train.
Okay, and you're being pulled by that number 11 locomotive. What can you tell us about the train itself?
So the number 11 locomotive, everything that we operate is historic in some way. So the number 11 locomotive has actually worked. It was built in the U.S., but it actually worked for many years right here in the Alberni Valley, switching rail cars for the pulp and paper mill for Macmillan Bloedel. So it's in that very recognizable white and red with the Macmillan Bloedel logo on it, just as it was when it was operating here in the Alberni Valley. So that's pulling our train right now along the waterfront for the summer. We do as well have some very special weekends where we haven't really publicized it much yet, but we are going to be running the famous number 7 steam locomotive on just a couple weekends throughout the summer and hopefully at Christmas as well. So we are super excited for that. We are also running with 4 passenger cars. They're ex-CN transfer cabooses that we had converted back in the 1990s when we were starting our operation and actually really pushing, trying to get out further down the line to McLean Mill, which we did for about 18 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about the capacity then? How many people can you get on board at full capacity?
So at full capacity with our 4 passenger coaches, we can pull 140 passengers at a time. And that we are working on refurbishing a 5th passenger car. So we used to have 5 passenger cars, but after everything sat for about 5 years of us not operating, the 5th passenger car saw a bit of rot on the interior. So we've got some grants and donations that were generously given to us to help refurbish that passenger car, which we're going to be hopefully putting into service by Christmas of this year.
Now, you mentioned that we're going to start with the number 11 locomotive, and then at some point the number 7, the old steam engine, the wonderful old locomotive for train lovers. How much work goes into getting these up and running and ready, Richard? This isn't just a quick turn of the key, so to speak.
Oh, absolutely not. So, just simply on a day, the diesel train, it is somewhat a turn of a key. You press the button, fire it up. You got to do your inspections beforehand and everything. The steam locomotive, on the other hand, is quite a lot of preparation. Depending on if our crew gets here the night before and warms everything up, gets everything up to pressure, and then shuts it down for the night, which is called hostling, or if they just hostle right in the morning and fire it up right there, which they'll be here no later than 5 a.m. to get everything ready. And so it's a lot of preparation just in the pre-trip fire up itself for the steam locomotive and a little bit of work for the diesel locomotive. But really what comes in for all of the work to be put into this is the maintenance. Is we have an incredible maintenance crew here who have pretty well spent the entire winter maintaining all the equipment, ensuring it's up to standard, up to spec. The steam locomotive saw quite a bit of work over the winter, even after we had a full boiler retube over the last 6 years, and that's why we're finally able to get it operational today. And then the diesel locomotive, over the winter, it saw a whole bunch of brake work, brand new brake shoes, rebuilding of the brake stand, the brake cylinder, all of that kind of work. So we have an incredible maintenance crew keeping up all of our equipment.
Well, it sounds like a fun ride, and these rides are obviously tourist-oriented for now, but do you hope that trains might be coming back as more of a foundational tool for the island at some point? And I ask, of course, because the Island Corridor Foundation held a ride for South Island politicians just earlier this week, talking about the potential.
Oh, absolutely. It's the Island Corridor Foundation and locally the Sashadan, who fetches at First Nations and the Alberni Valley Regional District are all working really hard locally, and everywhere else across the island, everyone's working hard to try to bring rail back in some form of capacity. It's needed for the island. We are lucky enough to be able to operate on our short track here, and we hope to be able to expand our tourist train outwards in the near future, and that's working with the Island Corridor Foundation. But to be able to see other forms of rail, whether it's passenger or freight or something in between, we support as much as we possibly can. It's great. The island needs something like that, so we're going to support that as best we can. Absolutely.
Do you hear people in the Alberni Valley talking about that? I mean, is it something that actually interests people, or is it just more of a theoretical at this point?
I definitely think there's a big interest in all of that. It's just the economic benefit is huge for the return of rail service in any capacity. But I think in the Alberni Valley, people are really of what the possibilities are with rail service, and everyone's a little scared to look down that route. Once people are made aware of, like, this is the possibilities, this is what this service can provide, and once there's an idea of the exact service out there, people are going to love it. I mean, just having a second route out of the Alberni Valley would be incredible. The highway was closed for 6 hours yesterday, and I know people personally who had struggled with that. The tourists struggle with that as well, and whether it's tourist rides or transport back and forth across from Port Alberni to Nanaimo or Parksville, or even if it's just the freight travel, anything would be a huge benefit, specifically for the Alberni Valley.
So how many people in the meantime are you hoping ride the Alberni Pacific Railway this summer?
So this summer, last year we had it was 8,900 passengers over the entire year. So that was from the end of June till the end of December, because of course we ran our annual Christmas train, which was a huge turnout. It sold out. We expanded an additional, I believe it was just over 1,000 tickets we added on from previous years. And yeah, we sold out, which was incredible for us. So this year we're hoping to get up about 9,500, possibly 10,000, which is my goal. And I think it's definitely doable. We've added on a whole bunch of extra runs. We've added all of the month of June, and then looking at some special events, whether it's throughout the summer or even in the fall. We're looking at doing some special events, and then also expanding on our Christmas train, which is not a huge sellout locally. It's a huge sellout all over the island. We've had people traveling up from Victoria, down from Campbell River, all over the place just to ride our Christmas train.
Well, Richard, have a great summer, and thanks for joining us. I appreciate you taking the time this morning.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Gregor.
Richard Spenser is Operations Manager with the Alberni Pacific Railway.